When was the last time that you fasted? When was the last? Can you think back at a time that you actually went without food for a day or 2 days? I mean, you fast every night. It is true you fast every night, but there's not enough duration to actually begin to really reduce some fat. 8 hours, 6 hours. It takes about 3 or 4 hours for all the glycol, all the sugars in the liver to get depleted, and then the body goes, okay, well, fat adapted, let's begin to use the fat because we're sleeping and we still need the energy, pump the heart and all that sort of stuff, run the brain, move the blood around. So all that takes energy, and that's why you get fat adapted and burn while you're sleeping. But when was the last time that you actually had the resolve to, and I mean really to sincerely look at it and say, look, sugar, well, for a start, you don't even realise. I mean, I've only learnt about this recently, and I stuck to the food pyramid. Bread, the food pyramid recommended by the Australian government, which is also recommended by the FDA, the American government. This guy called Ancel in the 50s made it up, and he based it on studies that weren't real. Anyway, you can look him up. His name is Ancel, A-N-C-E-L. And so we're all fat because of him, really, because he started all this idea that we need to eat more carbs and less of everything else. Less vegetables are up there somewhere, only a small part. But at the bottom layer of the pyramid is pasta, bread, all the complex carbs. And so I didn't know. So I had no clue. I thought when I was dieting, I thought, well, I'm doing good by having a little less pasta, but eating pasta. When you realise that it's the carbs that are spiking your insulin and creating that environment in your body that causes your body to reject the insulin. It resists it. It doesn't want it anymore. It doesn't want any more insulin because you're just spiking it all the time. 2, 3, 4 times a day, 5 times a day some people eat. They snack, they eat main meals, then they snack. They have fruit. You think fruit is good for you? Fruit is not good for you. I just ate a quarter of a watermelon. Now I know I'm a sinner. I'm a keto sinner. I'm a bad person. And there may be people watching that are really motivated. They've just started their keto. They're really motivated, and looking at what I'm eating, like, for example, a quarter of a watermelon, that's probably 250 grams there. So I've just eaten 20 carbs. But you get sort of seasoned about it, and you get sort of balanced about it, and you become more, you know that you'll improve in time, and that there will be dishes and recipes that you'll come up with later as time goes on. Admittedly, it's pretty hard in the van. It's pretty hard, but I'm doing it. But I haven't got a kitchen at my disposal, so it gets a bit hard. I can't just whip up exactly what I want, what I need. I haven't got a shop right next to me, or down the street that I can go to and pick up the items that I need, that I should be eating. But at least I'm not eating McDonald's. At least I'm not eating Hungry Jack's. At least I'm not eating pizza. Well, I have been eating a bit of pizza too. But again, it's about balance, and it's about not beating yourself up, because as soon as you beat yourself up, what happens is you beat yourself up so much that you give up, and that's the problem. You say, false start, too bad, nah, you stuffed up. That's the logic behind your brain. Your brain's saying, I want sugar, I want sugar, I want sugar. So it's saying, you've stuffed up, you've already had a pizza, forget it, have pizza again tonight, what the hell? And that happened to me. I had a pizza a second night, and then I had a pizza a third night, and then something came over me. I went, that's enough. All right, that's it. All right, I get your point, but we're not doing that. And so it's that false start idea that because you've already stuffed up, what's a bit more? Forget it. Don't worry about it. You've already stuffed up. You can't do it. You're hopeless. But that's not it. It's incremental. You get ahead a bit, But then you give in, because also there are things happening in your body that you don't even understand, that you need to. I'm sure that when I had that cut that I told you about on my video, on that other video, when I was in Rockhampton, look at that cut now. Look at that cut. And actually, that's gone now. And that was a very, very deep cut. You saw the knife that I used to slice myself accidentally, and that's a big sharp knife, and it cut in deep, and it's gone. And that was, I can't recall really, maybe two weeks ago, week and a half, but that's gone. That's healed. That's ridiculous. There's nothing there. That was the finger, I promise you. It wasn't this finger. See, it wasn't this finger, it was this finger. And that was deep. That was deep, my friend. And I looked it up, and there are actual studies on the US government website of doctors making studies about fasting, and they have suggested that, according to their tests, fasting before or after an injury increases it by 80%, increases the healing by 80%. And sure enough, I was fasting. I just finished my 5-day fast. The video when that happened was my Forex lesson video. So there's a date on that. But that was the night that it happened, when I talked about Forex. And I just completed a 6-day fast. Or was it a 5-day? 5 or 6-day fast. I just completed. So I had no food for 6 days it was. So no food for 6 days. And look what happened. In this report, I should find it and sort of leave it in the description, but what they suggest is that because you fast, if you fast before, it's an 80% increase in the speed of healing, and that's just the cut. I mean, what's happening inside? What's the body doing on the inside? That's all that autophagy going on the inside when you're fasting. You know, when you fast, you make autophagy. In other words, it recycles all your cancers, all the things floating around that shouldn't be there, because you keep eating. There's no rest. There's no respite. So the body just keeps making these things. You know, they're just things that need to be recycled and gotten rid of. And I feel it. I feel the ketones, and I feel the fresh cleanness of it. But this autophagy is working inside your body to recycle all these proteins and things. They actually use it. The body uses it because you're fasting. You're challenging the body. It's become a survival thing, and it's saying, well, shit, you know, we're getting no food, not just a little bit of food. We're getting no food. You know, after day 2, usually it's 48 hours. Once you make it for 48 hours, your ghrelin pangs. Ghrelin is the hormone that makes you realise that you're hungry, and it gives you these pangs. After 48 hours, they go away. They just go away. They go away, and you know, you just ignore them, and they last a minute. They last 30 seconds. You know, not yet. All right, I'll go away. They just go away. It's amazing. And after 48 hours, you don't even feel it. There's not even that. You could keep going. I could keep going for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. But I'm worried about my nutrients, because I haven't had a really great diet beforehand with all the takeaway food. So my nutrients, I'm already deficient in a lot of ways, and I'm not well in terms of the diabetes and the metabolic. So I'm just taking it easy. I did dive into the keto diet, and I did dive into fasting real fast, but I didn't. I don't think I should, you know, extend to 10 days or 20 days yet. It will happen. I look forward to my Jesus fast. Jesus! And my Jesus fast is 40 days and 40 nights, which is what Jesus did, right? He went into the desert and got tempted by the devil. Why don't you turn those rocks into bread? The devil said to Jesus, and he was able to resist the devil. And the same thing with me, with my mind. Everyone goes through it, this temptation. Like today, I didn't have to buy that damn watermelon, but it said $1.49 for a whole watermelon. I thought they had them on special because they were just, you know, they had a lot of them, and they were getting rid of them or something. It said $1.49, but it turned out to be $1.49 per kilo. So there's 1 kilo there. So they charged me $15. So I got tricked there. But for $1.49, I thought I could throw half of it away and still be, and still have a bit of watermelon for the night. But I paid full price, so I'm going to eat it because I paid for it, which is good logic. I could just throw it away. I could just, there's 3/4 left, and I could just throw it away, but the devil's there. He's saying, don't throw it away, don't throw it away, you regret it. You'll regret it later tonight. You're going to want some watermelon, and it's going to be sitting in the bin over there, and you're going to be spewing. So I'm listening to the devil, and fair enough. I mean, I'm only human. I'm going to have to turn into superhuman, and I believe that's occurring as we speak. And what I wanted to do right now, as the last final bit of this video, is to do a before shot and an after shot. Well, do a before shot. I can't give you an after shot because it's still not the future. But I want to do a proper. I want to show you me man boobs, MOOBS, my MOOBS, man boobs, MOOBS. We used to call them bitch tits when I was at school, and used to make fun of kids with bitch tits. But man boobs or MOOBS, and my big stomach. And I just want to show, at least have one shot, because I've been strategically using this camera. Not that I use it very well. I point at the sky when I'm trying to point at something else. I'm sorry. It'll get better. I'll have to get a camcorder with a flippy thing that I can see the screen, and a large screen, so in the sun I can see what I'm pointing at. But right now I can't. Right now I could be pointing at the silo, and I think I'm talking to you. So it's just all guesswork. But so what I'm going to do is just show you this, and I've been strategically pointing this camera in a way to just show my sort of shoulders and not much more, even though you've seen in the last video you've seen my man boobs. And what I want to do is just show you the full gory of it, not glory, goriness of it, and how bad I really am, and the fat around my face. Well, you see that anyway. But when I was slimmer, in my slimmer days, I will look younger. In a couple of months, you'll see I will look younger. But anyway, here goes nothing. I'm gonna put the camera down and walk over there, and you can see my fat belly. And I'm going to reuse this footage later when maybe I've got a few abs or something, and hopefully, maybe not. I doubt I'll have abs, but maybe I'll do a few sit-ups and you'll be able to see abs. Because abs, nothing to it really. Abs, you can get abs easy. All you have to do is remove the thickness of your tummy skin. Abs have nothing to do with exercise. In fact, if you do too many crunches and stuff, you will have a very broad, square mid-waist, and that's what you don't want. You just want to pop them a bit. So the abs have nothing to do with exercise. And the fools that work really hard to get abs, they're crazy. All they have to do is fast. Anyway, this is it. Have a look. We're going to let it out. We're going to let out the tummy. So that's it. That's the whole thing. Let's let out. Who said I was shy? See you later.